All right, kings and queens, today we are going to get into something very important, the difference between popular, trending, and true high value. Okay, so the first thing that is different between popular and high value is character. So generally things that tend to be popular, sometimes they can be inherently high value, but not all the time. And so therefore, high value has a higher form of character and even intelligence that comes with it. Okay, so the thing about being more with proper character, with right character, that tends to be seen more with high value. But even when it's popular, it is not actually seen as a form of high value. Okay, number two, intelligence. Okay, popular does not seem to be intelligent. They have popularized making you stupid, making you fat, making you dumb, making you a fucking idiot, making you a POS, and making you a 304. It covers all bases, it covers all genders, it covers all races, it covers all humans generally, that they've popularized it. Only most people have played into that narrative and fulfilled that narrative or tried to fulfill that narrative. But then there is that rarity of people that do not succumb to what society has fed to them, what schools have given to them, what schools want you to learn. They want you to know what you need to know for their thing to fulfill itself. They want you to know what to learn. Okay, they will give you what to learn, but they will not teach you how to learn. Okay, number three, I know that a lot of people will generally say this, but money. But it's also not just the amount of money that you make per month. Now, we have generally put scales on this. $8,000 to $10,000 a month generally tends to be higher value, and that is the low end of it. That is the low end. But regardless of any money, it's who you are before the fucking money. It's who you are before the money. Like people like me, or people who have officially made themselves successful where they were not shit. They were not shit. They were just drug addicts and they were alcoholics like almost everybody else, except they just weren't in denial and they just admitted to themselves. They went through their own 12-step AA process and said, I'm a fucking fuck up, and I'm not going to continue to be a fuck up for my family and for my friends and for the people around me, and I'm going to actually be a fucking asset to my community. Now, with this is generally I want you to understand that if you are inherently valuable before the money, then when you have the money, you put the money in places of value. And here's the thing, the reason why that is higher value is, okay, so here's the thing is that if you are valuable before you have the money, that means that you can inherently always get money. But when somebody deems just money being valuable, but if you have no inherent value, then there is a trap. There is a catch-all. There's a catch-22. So with this, I want you guys to understand that I live with purpose, okay? And so my mindset first, before any of the money, before any of you guys knew me, before any of the fucking money, before any of this type of stuff, my focus was I have a purpose. I have to. I get to. I don't have to, I have to do this or I gotta do this. No, I fucking get to. I get to wake up at 3 a.m. and leave out of the sliding glass door and fucking walk 2 miles to 3 different pull-up bars and work out for 3 hours, study, read, continuously draw stuff up, and almost be so stupid of how I was first creating my business, and now I'm fucking thriving. Now I'm fucking thriving. Now I have the right teams, the right systems, the right assets in place. And it was all before the fucking money. And it was because I inherently was valuable before a fucking dollar ever entered into my bank account. And that was the thing. And it was not about the money, the outcome either. It was not about me making money. It was about a transform, and it still is about a transform in consciousness. It's about a transform and elevation of spirit, spirituality, and consciousness of the human race, the human, the light man race, the living being race. Okay, number 4. One of the things that's different between popular, trending, and actual high value is the Alpha Sigma. So popular tends to be more alpha. It needs validation. It needs things outside of itself. So it needs to be validated. It needs all this different stuff. High value doesn't really give a fuck if you think that it's high value or not. It knows it's fucking inherently valuable. It doesn't care whether it fits into your paradigms, whether it fits into your algorithms, whether it fits into your side of TikTok or your side of YouTube or your side of this side or whatever. It's still inherently valuable. Timelessness. It's inherently valuable, like, without the need of a validation from somebody else or attention from somebody else. And one big thing too is it's not always going to be seen like there's going to be a million fucking views. That does not mean that it does not have high value. And popular can also be inherently low valuable, even though that it has high amounts of streams, high amounts of views, high amounts of attention. Okay? 100%. And then number 5, I would say this is a very important one as well. Popular comes and goes. It comes and goes. It comes in wavelengths. It's like it'll be popular one day and then another thing will take its place and then another thing will take its place, another thing will take its place. And some people might remember it. Some people might come back to it. But ultimately, high value stays high valuable. It continuously fucking exponentially grows its asset cultivation of either money, attention, time, or energy, and it literally teaches asset accumulation and wealth generation across multitudes of pillars. And I know that there's plenty of more numbers, but this can help give you guys, a perspective that some people are idolizing money when they should idolize energy, time, and attention. So then when they have the money, they know what to spend that money on to buy back time, money, and attention. But the problem is that they spend all of their time, money, and attention trying to acquire money, which is the lowest form of currency. It's the lowest form of currency. It's the man-made form of currency. All the other currencies, if we pay attention to them, actually cultivate in the spiritual, emotional, and mental realms. And so when we inherently look at trending or popular, it's like, yeah, some people will fucking be like, oh yeah, this is the shit. And then fucking one day, it's just going to completely disappear. My example is the iPhone versus Steve Jobs. The iPhone versus Steve Jobs. Everybody sees that the iPhone is popular. It's like, oh, da-da-da-da. But then there's going to be something one fucking day that inherently is like, oh, that's way better. I'm going to go towards this. And everyone's going to forget what an iPhone fucking is. But Steve Jobs, the person who created Apple, okay, rest in peace. The whole thing about Steve Jobs is this man's an asset. He's a techie asset. He's a savage tech asset. You cannot take away his high valueness from inherently what he's created. Okay, and there are levels of high value. There's physical high value. There's emotional high value. There's mental high value. There's spiritual high value. There's fitness high value, richness, rareness high value. There's different levels of high value. And the thing is that you will see somebody and you'll be like, oh, that person's high valuable because they have one pillar of high value. And you will, I mean it, and especially in physical. If someone's physically fit or has a lot of money or both, somebody will look at them and they have high value. But I can guarantee you that's only for those types of people who are looking for value in those types of places. But for the people who are spiritually high value, such as myself, to people who still idolize money, and to people who still idolize materialism, and to people who still idolize stuff, and to people who idolize, any type of physical fitness, I'm not saying that I'm not going to physically be fit, but even behind the physical fitness, it's the inherent spirituality that is tied to the fitness, the chi, the pranayama, the cultivation of Tai Chi, the cultivation of Kung Fu, the cultivation of, the slow twitch and fast twitch muscle fibers, all these different intercorrelations that people, that's the intelligence, the mentality, the emotionality, the spirituality that goes into it, that people might not see as high value because they do not carry those types of valuable things. Now, they might want somebody to be smart, but they might not inherently be smart, so therefore they have a lower base of value, even though that they would deem that such high value. So there are levels to fucking high value, and I encourage you to actually truly be rare. You have to step yourself out. You have to step yourself apart. You have to step apart from the crowd and truly cultivate who you truly are as a high value, high vibe spiritual being. Peace.